The new moon in Virgo on September 2nd is the time to set intentions to move forward with the big plans that were sidetracked over these last few weeks during the Mercury retrograde and the massive mutable T-square involving Jupiter and Saturn. But progress will only come if you're willing to work hard for your results. This new moon highlights the ongoing Jupiter-Saturn square in a big way, only without the added passion and intensity that was brought about by Venus and Mars in the mix. With Saturn and Pisces opposing the moon, this is a beautiful time to take your wildest dreams and fantasies and transform them into something that's rational, tangible, and real. Virgo is all about managing the details, and now is a time when all of our big Jupiter and Gemini ideas can become organized into something much more cohesive. And as we enter into another eclipse season, this is your last chance to harness the new moon for intention setting until November 1st. So make it count. In this video, I'll cover all of the Virgoan details about the upcoming new moon, including a forecast for all 12 signs, so you can enter this new lunar cycle fully prepared to take action. If you enjoy keeping up with the astrological influences, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an important astrology update. I post a new forecast or tutorial every single Saturday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, and you don't want to miss that. And if you really love these forecasts, drop a comment below and let me know. And be sure to share this video with someone who could use some help navigating the planetary energy. Now, let's get deeper into the general forecast for this new moon and the next 2 weeks ahead. And please don't skip this section. It provides an important context for the energy we're going to be diving into in your forecast for all of your signs. And be sure to watch all the way to the end for a sneak preview of the forecast for the partial lunar eclipse that's happening on September 17th. I'm super excited to tell you all about that too. So first things first, this new moon is in the sign of Virgo. It's happening at 11 degrees. So if you have any planets, your sun, moon, rising, or any of your personal planets around the middle degrees in the sign of Virgo, especially when you get close to that 11 degree mark, so really anywhere between 6 and 16 degrees, you're going to be feeling this very intensively. And this is going to be an extra potent new beginning energy for you. This is an extra potent time for you to set intentions for not just the month ahead, but for the next 6 months ahead until we come into the full moon in the sign of Virgo, which will happen roughly 6 months from now. This is also an especially potent energy for all of my Virgo sun sign people out there, all of my fellow Virgo sun sign people out there. So if you're having your solar return around the time of this new moon on September 2nd, this is a year where everything is going to change for you. This new moon for everyone in general is going to be a big reality check. And so this is a time where we've been going through a lot of change, a lot of turbulence. We were feeling really amped up and excited about moving forward with something, getting some momentum going. But between the Mercury retrograde that happened in July and the Jupiter-Saturn square being amplified by Mars and Venus in the mix, there was a lot of hesitation. There was a lot of procrastination. There was a lot of topsy-turvy energy that threw us off track. And there was a lot of ambition that went unfulfilled. Now is a time where we actually get to fulfill it. We actually get to set things in motion. And what we're setting in motion right now isn't just related to right now. It isn't just related to 6 months from now. This is an energy that's going to be taking us through the entire next year because of this Jupiter-Saturn alignment that comes on and off, all the way through to the middle of 2025. I talked about this in an extended forecast video with Shanna Cross, who is my friend and fellow astrologer and one of my teaching assistants in the Cosmic Academy of Astrology. Make sure you check out that video for the full forecast because this is a year-long event and this is catapulting us into it. So essentially what just happened was in July, we got a taste. We got a taste of what it is that we have to work really hard to expand upon during this Saturn-Jupiter alignment in the mutable signs. And this is going to be especially apparent for anyone who has strong mutable energy. So like I said, those Virgo sun signs, anyone who has sun, moon, rising in any of the mutable signs, which are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, you're going to be feeling this energy way more intensively, and it's going to be a way more predominant theme over the next year ahead, where there's something that we really need to take hold of in terms of an opportunity or maybe multiple opportunities. And Saturn is creating a lot of work behind it. It's making us have to work hard to accomplish these goals and to take advantage of the luck, the fortune, the energy that's coming up for us. And so it's not just like Jupiter's coming in and just expanding on everything really naturally. It's kind of like Jupiter is presenting us with a glimmer of hope, an opportunity, a message that comes in that could turn into something, but not if we don't put the effort in ourselves. This is about self-discipline and self-responsibility. And because Jupiter is in mutual reception with Saturn, there is a beautiful synergy going on there where we can work really hard to create something that wouldn't normally be possible. That is that Saturn and Pisces energy, taking the improbable and the impossible and turning it into something very real. And so don't be afraid to work toward the big dreams, the big goals, the things that you have such high hopes for, but you don't think are actually possible. This is a time where they are possible, but you're going to have to overcome some lessons, some hurdles, some hardships in order to get to that final destination, that final goal. It doesn't mean it won't happen. It absolutely can happen. And this new moon in Virgo is showing us what's possible. It's helping us to get our plans in order, our ducks in a row. Virgo is all about paying attention to those details. And this new moon in Virgo is no exception to that. And so this is a beautiful time to actually sit down and write out your plans. What is that big dream or goal that you have that you're envisioning? And how can you translate what you're seeing and perceiving maybe in your head into something that is logical, linear, and well planned out? That is a beautiful way to use this new moon in Virgo energy for intention setting. And this is also a time to narrow down your options. Jupiter in Gemini, until Saturn came in the mix last month, was showing us that we have so many more options than we thought were available to us. And now with Saturn in the mix, it's like, okay, we need to limit ourselves because we can't do all of the things. If we try to do all of the things, some of the things are not going to work out, or all of the things are not going to work out because you're doing too much all at once. You can take advantage of some of the opportunities, the most important opportunities, but not all of the opportunities because you're only one person. And so this is a practical kind of reality check that this new moon in Virgo is bringing us that's going to be very, very helpful in the coming months ahead. Also, like I mentioned before, this is the last new moon that's just a new moon until November 1st. When we have the eclipse that happens at the start of October, that is not a time to set intentions. That is a time to just roll with the punches, to have like a vague idea of where things are going, but to not try to control it too heavily. With Virgo in the mix right now, as we enter into eclipse season, because we really are entering into eclipse season with this new moon, it's time to lay out our plans. And even if our best laid plans do go a little bit awry, at least we have some momentum going. At least we know what our goals are. And at least we've laid out some of the steps to get there. This is going to help us a lot. And also the eclipses, the first eclipse is happening in Virgo and Pisces on September 17th. So that could disrupt what our ideas are of where we think things are headed. And that's okay. It's going to be a necessary disruption because it's going to show us that next year things are going to change, and that's going to show us exactly how things are going to change. But we still need to start making those plans. If we don't set it in motion, it's not going to happen. So we need to take advantage of this opportunity right now. The other thing that's really important that's happening here, well, let's kind of go back to the Saturn and Pisces situation. So we have this new moon happening on September 2nd. The next phase of this building of something that we want to make tangible, right? This Saturnian energy where we're taking something that is a dream and turning it into reality. The next phase of that, where we get to have a very clear look at where things are headed, will happen on September 7th because we're going to have a Sun opposition to Saturn. That's going to highlight the work that we need to still do. That's going to highlight where we're not living up to our share of the responsibility in some way. That's going to show us where we are maybe blaming other people for our own procrastination, laziness, or fear that's preventing us from moving forward. That's going to be a reality check that we need because on September 12th, the Jupiter square to the Sun is going to expand our optimism, expand on these opportunities. It's going to have us feeling really amped up. We're going to have a lot more momentum going around that time, just in time for the eclipses to kind of throw it a little off kilter. But, you know, there's a need to get things going. There's a reason we're starting things now, even if these things get slightly disrupted. And this first eclipse on the 17th is not the most disruptive eclipse. It's kind of like a taste or a hint of what's to come, so we can see where we might need to make adjustments. And so I'll talk about that more at the end of this video, but just keep in mind that not all is lost during the eclipse cycle, and especially when it comes to the intentions that we're setting at the time of this new moon. The other thing that's happening here is that this new moon is in a beautiful trine with Ceres, which is an asteroid that has to do with the nurturing that we either received or didn't receive in early childhood. I have an entire video where I talk about Ceres in detail, including Ceres placement in the different houses in your birth chart. Make sure you check that out if you haven't heard very much about Ceres before and you want to learn, especially if you want to learn from a medical astrology perspective, because that happens to be my specialty. But in terms of this Virgo energy, this is a beautiful nurturing energy where we can take our intentions and support them, nurture them in a very motherly way. It's almost as if Ceres to me feels like we have this like big hug from the planets. We have this big hug from the astrology where it's like, all right, you got to put in the hard work. You got to do the thing. You got to clean your room. You got to do your chores, but it's okay. You know, I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to support you. I'm here to make sure that you have everything you need in order to make this happen. That Ceres energy is also really beautiful for health. So we have this Virgo energy, which is a new moon in the sign that is most closely associated with being health conscious. That is very much a Virgo thing. And we have Ceres, which has to do with food specifically. This is an optimal time to make intentions for setting better food choices, better dietary regimens, better health routines in general, but especially when it comes to food. Also, if you're somebody who is struggling with food sensitivities, this is a time where you might be able to figure it out more easily or incorporate a new diet or plan that eliminates the things that are causing you problems, or that helps you to digest the things that are causing you problems. That could be a part of it too. And so again, very good energy for achieving your health goals. It's not going to come all at once because of that Saturn Jupiter energy, but there's an opportunity here. So if there's something you've been wanting to work on when it comes to your health, your nutrition, your wellness overall, this is a beautiful, beautiful time, one of the best times this entire year to set intentions for that. And so let's get into the forecast for all 12 signs. But before we do, I do have a very Virgo question to ask you that's related to what we just talked about here. Are you somebody who's tried every diet, nutritional supplement, healthcare routine, exercise routine that you've seen on social media, only to feel like nothing's really working for your body? What if you're following advice that simply doesn't align with your unique constitution, your unique blueprint, and your unique energy? That's where medical astrology comes in. In my upcoming Celestial Vitality Workshop, I'm going to teach you exactly how to use your birth chart to decode your body's specific needs, so you'll know exactly what foods, supplements, and exercise routines are right for you based on your astrological blueprint. This is a game changer for anyone looking to take control of your health and find true vitality. And this isn't just about learning astrology. It's about transforming your wellness journey with insights that are tailored specifically to you. Join me live on September 21st, and you get to save 50% off this already super affordable workshop when you register today. It's called Celestial Vitality. The link is down in the description below, and I'm super excited to get started on the path to better health together. All right, without further ado, let's get into the forecast for all 12 signs. So for Aries and for Aries rising, this energy, this new moon is happening literally in your 6th house of health. And so speaking of health routines, this is really what you need to be focusing on when it comes to setting intentions for this new moon in the sign of Virgo. And remember, this is your last chance to set really solid intentions for a couple of months. And so you want to make this count. You want to make this work for you. This is a time where it's really important to initiate something new or work toward initiating something new when it comes to your diet, your exercise routine, your overall health and wellness. This is also a really important time where there's been maybe some stuck or stagnant energy around getting a project going for work, or maybe there's just been something that's holding you back from speaking your mind in the workplace. Now's the time to make a plan to actually tell what you need to tell, to say what you need to say, to share your plans maybe with your coworkers, to address an issue that's been going on in the workplace with your coworkers. This would be a beautiful time to do that. And you're actually going to be supported from somebody in a position of power and authority. So even if you're not working, there's something here that you need to be doing on a day-to-day basis in your day-to-day routines that is going to be supported from somebody who you look up to, from somebody who knows better than you, from somebody with more experience. And if this is a work-related energy for you, this is a beautiful time to ask somebody for help who is in that position of authority. So ask your boss for help, or ask your boss for permission to start the new project that you're really excited to start, or ask your boss for help with dealing with the communication issues that have been coming up for you around the workplace lately. This is a beautiful time for all of those things, but this is one of the best times for you to get something going when it comes to your health. And so if you want to join me in the Celestial Vitality Workshop, this is actually really great for all of my Aries rising people. Again, it's on September 21st. The link is down below, because that's going to show you exactly how to mold your health routines to your body type, to your energy of your birth chart, which is unique to every single person, and it's different for every single person. And even if you're not doing that, looking at your diet, especially your nutrition with this Virgo energy and with this Ceres energy, and looking at how you can optimize what you're putting into your body to facilitate more energy, to facilitate better health. There could also be a situation that you need to kind of reset when it comes to your day-to-day routines, or when it comes to your ability to show up in service for somebody else. And so maybe there's been a lot on your plate and you've been doing a lot for others, and now's a time where you need to kind of reset and focus more on self-care and on your own health and well-being. For Taurus and for Taurus rising. For Taurus, this is happening in your 5th house, and this is the time to set intentions for fun, for play, for things that you love to do. This is a beautiful time to dive into hobbies and interests that are very practical and that have some sort of actual material value. You probably have a lot of big ideas on how you can monetize the things that you're passionate about, and now's the time to actually get those plans in order and maybe start setting those things in motion. This is also a time where maybe your friends have been blocking you in some way due to their opinions about what it is that you enjoy doing or that you like to do. There's something that you're passionate about that maybe somebody in your social circle was looking down upon, or maybe, your social obligations were preventing you from focusing on your passions. You were too wrapped up in other people's stuff. And now's a time where you need to take back control. You need to take back your energy, and you need to focus on the things that you love and that count and that matter for you. There's definitely an opportunity here for you to take something that you are passionate about, especially if it has some sort of practical value, and make plans to monetize it in a way that could be very profitable for you later on down the line. And so definitely think about that if that's something that you are interested in or that you've been wanting to do, like a side hustle or a business, or, if you owned your own business, there might be a new kind of avenue you want to take that's more creative or more fun for you. Definitely, this is the time to get things going for that. This is also a beautiful time to set intentions around children and the health of your children. So if there's something you've been wanting to do, like you've been wanting to make healthier dinners or get them on a healthier routine, it's back to school season. This is a time where you can actually set that in motion, and your children are more likely to actually obey and and go along with your plans. And so this could be a beautiful time for that as well. If you're looking for new romance, this is a time to set intentions to find a new romantic partner, something that is maybe more than a fling because of that Saturnian influence, especially if you have a Taurus sun, moon, or rising anywhere between, I would say, 6 and 20 degrees even, because of where Saturn is and all of that. So yeah, this is a time to think about finding a romantic partner and deepening a long-term commitment. And if you already have a long-term partnership, this is a good time to think about revitalizing your romance or incorporating romance into your routine. So kind of almost having to work on adding more romance or more fun or play into your relationship. For Gemini and for Gemini rising, this new moon is happening in your 4th house, which is the house of home, family, property, real estate, your roots. And so this is a beautiful time to set intentions, to make plans that involve your home, that involve your place of living. So if you're wanting to move, if you're wanting to renovate, if you're wanting to redecorate, now's the time to start planning for it. It might not happen right this second. There might be some sort of limitations, restrictions, hardships that are coming through your career or your work, or you might just feel like you're too busy. You're not too busy. Now's the time to kind of bring it back down. There's been a lot on your plate when it comes to your work or what it is that you're putting out there in the world, or there's been limitations or restrictions being posed upon you from somebody in a position of power and authority from the outside. This is a time where you can rein it back in, get down to the heart of the matter, and focus more on what's going on behind the scenes, behind closed doors. What do you want to come home to after work? How do you want to find balance between working really hard, which is what you've been doing? You've been much more disciplined. You've been having to work harder at something. And what you do for rest, what you do at home to kind of recollect your energy. This is also a beautiful time to set intentions that involve your family or to start something new involving your parents. This could also be a really beautiful time too if you want to kind of get a loan for something or pay off a debt that involves a home or a mortgage or, a refinancing situation or maybe renovating or something along those lines. This is a time where you can do that a little bit more easily, or you can rely on somebody in your family to maybe help you out if you're in a pinch or in a tight spot financially right now. That's something that actually there's like a nurturing energy from your 8th house, which is other people's money, where Ceres is, that's funneling into your 4th. That could indicate a helping hand from parents or from family members. There's a lot of opportunities that you want to take hold of right now. You feel very enthusiastic and excited about a lot of things. Now's the time to kind of like break it down and figure out what's most important. And again, it's more about your foundation. Like, what do you want to come home to? What do you want your life to look like outside of work? And how can you build your career and build your life around that? For Cancer and for Cancer rising, for Cancer, the new moon is happening in your 3rd house, which is the house of community. It's the house of your neighborhood, your neighbors. It's the house of your immediate surroundings. It's also the house of vehicles, travel plans, especially short-term travel plans. But there could be something going on here where, you had some sort of travel plan where you wanted to go somewhere farther away, but you had to cancel it or reschedule it, or it was like limited or restricted in some way, or maybe it didn't go as planned. Now's the time where you can make up for that by going on like a weekend trip or planning something that's a little bit closer to home. That could be really fun and really exciting for you this month. That would be a great way to use this energy. If there's something you want to initiate that involves communication, that involves like blogging or podcasting or making YouTube videos, now's a time where you can start planning to put in the work, to put it out there, to share what you want to share with the world. There's something that you have this big vision for that you really need to make tangible, that you need to break down in a practical, very realistic way so you can share it with other people. And now's the time when you can absolutely do that. If you're wanting to purchase a vehicle or make some sort of change to your commute, now's a time where you can start planning for that and putting in the work. You're going to need to do your due diligence. You're not going to just like go out to like a dealership and just buy the first thing you see, because Saturn's saying, no, you need to do your homework, you need to do your research, you need to look around and shop around. But that is something that you could also create for yourself with the energy of this new moon. Then we get into Leo and Leo rising. For Leos, this is all about setting intentions for your finances and looking at your money mindset. Do you have a lot of fear or a lot of energy around restriction or limitation that surrounds your financial mindset right now? This is a time for you to break out of that. This is a time for you to look at things realistically. Like, look at the evidence. Does the evidence support your fear? That is the question that you should be asking yourself if you have any hesitations, any limiting beliefs, anything that is preventing you from achieving your goals when it comes to your finances. Like, internally and mentally. And even if you think it's external, like, does the reality of the situation match your beliefs? That is first thing first. But this is a really beautiful time for you to set intentions to pay off debts, to work really hard toward your financial goals. This is a beautiful time for you to create a budget and to stick to it so you can achieve your financial goals, or to make a specific plan to save for the future. This is a good time to look at things like insurance. This is a good time to look at things like a will or a living trust. This is a good time to look at how you can protect yourself financially, not just now, but well into the future. And that's going to pay off really, really greatly. If you want to start something new that is going to bring in more finances, like a new investment or a new financial endeavor, a new job even. Again, now is the time for you to set those intentions and just start planning for it. Update your resume if you need to, those types of things. And then for Virgo and for Virgo rising. For Virgo and for Virgo rising, this new moon is in your first house. And so this is the time for you to reset in all areas of life. There's been a lot weighing on you when it comes to your relationships, and potentially a lot of added responsibility in your relationships over these past many months, this past year really. And there's also been this desire to really grow and expand and do something new when it comes to your career. There are opportunities coming your way, and there are so many of them that you don't know what to choose. But then there's also this restriction coming from somebody on the outside saying, no, you can't. Or maybe the actual situation doesn't physically allow you to take hold of the opportunity. Now's the time where you can break out of that. Whatever limitations are there, you know exactly what you need to do to make things happen. You have to put in the work. You have to absolutely work on the relationship or work on whatever it is that you need to structure this opportunity. But the opportunity is there. It's also about narrowing your options. There's a lot that you want to do right now, especially when it comes to your career goals and plans, or especially when it comes to the work that you do out in the world. Again, it's about narrowing it down and focusing on what's real, what's practical, what's most likely to take off and become successful, and then really laser focusing your intentions on that for this new moon in Virgo. And then for Libra and for Libra rising, this new moon is happening in your 12th house, which is the house of rest and resetting, basically. Rest and reprieve. And so this is a beautiful time to kind of take yourself out of the world. If there's anything that you want to work on involving sleep and your sleep quality, involving just getting more rest, getting more time for vacation. You've had Saturn in your 6th house for a while now, and it's been amplified with this mutable T-square that's been going on. You have Jupiter in the mix. Jupiter's like, I want to go out and play and have an adventure. And Saturn's like, no, you have to work. There's stuff that you need to do here. Even if you go out and play, it's kind of like you're constantly taking care of other people. You're constantly having to check in with work. You're constantly having to deal with maybe health issues that come up, and it's restricting your ability to have the adventure that you want to have. Now's the time to take a step out of all of that. A really good thing to do around September 2nd. So it's Labor Day here in the United States. So maybe you have the day off and you can just chill. Like, you just need to take yourself out of it. This is a great time to set intentions for having more time for meditation, having more time for contemplation, having more time for stillness. These are all beautiful things you can do. And this is also a really great way to, again, zero in on your health routines. Because the opposite end of the spectrum is Saturn, and you need to get much more disciplined about your health and much more realistic about what's possible for you to do when it comes to your nutrition, your health routines, your health goals. It's not about doing everything all at once and having these big grandiose transformations like you see maybe on Instagram or something. Most of those are not real. Like, this is about putting in the effort every single day in small ways to make 1% changes that eventually add up to a 360-degree change, right? Or 360% change over the course of this next year. And so this new moon is about honing in on your intentions. What do you want when it comes to your health? Definitely check out the Celestial Vitality Workshop if health is something that you're struggling with, or you're wanting to get the best routines for your body based on your astrology. Again, 50% off. Link is down below. This is a great workshop for you right now in particular if this is a concern. Then for Scorpio and for Scorpio rising, The new moon is happening in your 11th house, which is the house of friends, social networks, people that you surround yourself with by choice. This is a great time to set intentions for finding new friends, people who are supportive, people who are wanting to show up in service to help you. This is also a really great time for you to set intentions for ways that you can show up in service of your community, of the people that you care about, of your tribe. And so this is a great time to think about social causes and ways that you can network and get in touch with people who have similar values, similar ideologies, who want to create similar change in their community, in their environment, in the world. People with a similar mindset that you can team up with to actually make things happen. This is a really beautiful time for supportive communication within a group. So maybe if you want to start some sort of group thing where it's like a group healing or a group ceremony of some kind, or something where you come together as a group to facilitate healing in some way. This is a really great time to set intentions for that. There's been something that's been kind of restricting your ability to play, to have fun, to do the things that you want to do. If you lean on those friendships, if you find friends with similar interests, you're going to have a lot more energy for play moving forward. And this is also a great time to network with people for financial ventures and financial gain. So like looking for investors or networking with people who can help facilitate more money coming in. That's a beautiful thing you can do with this energy too. For Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising, this new moon is happening in your 10th house, which is the house of career and public reputation. This is a massive reset, a massive new beginning when it comes to whatever it is that you're doing out in the world, especially the things that you do that show up in service of others, because that is the Virgoist energy. And so there's been a lot going on behind the scenes where maybe your home life, your responsibilities in the home have been weighing on you, restricting you, limiting you in some way. Maybe you and your partner have a lot of big plans and big ideas, but there's something that's preventing you from really jumping in and taking hold. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes and less focus on what's going on externally and what you're doing with your career goals and plans. And now's the time to actually get those plans in order. There's a really wonderful opportunity here for you to facilitate more income coming in if you play your cards right. If you're willing to take the long road, if you're willing to sacrifice the short-term gains for the long-term gains, right? So it's not about instant gratification when it comes to career goals. This is about setting intentions and getting very clear about what it is that you want for your career. What does your ideal perfect job opportunity look like? What does it feel like? How can you create maybe a 1-year plan to get yourself there if you're not already there, or maybe a 6-month plan to get yourself there if you're not close to being there, or a 2-week plan if it's really dire and you're already feeling like you're ready. Now's the time to get that going and get that in motion. And even if you're not somebody who's working, look at your legacy. What is it that you're leaving behind in terms of your mark on the world, and how can you plan to create what you want to create within that legacy? That's what you should be focusing on. For Capricorn and Capricorn rising, this new moon is happening in your 9th house, which is the house of travel, adventure, fun. It's the house of expanding your horizons, expanding your mind, learning new things. This is a beautiful opportunity for you to set intentions for all of that. There might have been some like limitations, restrictions, something maybe going on in your immediate environment, your neighborhood, or some communication that's come in that's weighed you down and prevented you from actually taking maybe that course that you want to take. Maybe you want to enroll in Celestial Vitality or Medical Astrology Foundations, which is opening for enrollment on September 22nd. Maybe you want to, enroll in college or go back to school, or maybe you just want to go on a trip and there's just been too much going on in your immediate environment and like too much weighing on you, or maybe even it's your negative self-talk that's preventing you, like where you're talking yourself out of doing the thing. Now is the time to work on putting your plans in motion. Maybe it's a big trip that you want to take and it seems like a grandiose vision. That vision can absolutely be turned into reality, but you're going to have to work for it and you're going to have to plan it out and map it out. This is also a really great time for you to take advantage of opportunities or set intentions for opportunities for higher educational pursuits that expand your ability to do the work that you want to do out in the world. That's going to be huge for you right now. And so anything that's going to help you learn more, anything that's going to help you explore, anything that's going to build up your career through additional avenues of knowledge, or if you're somebody who wants to share your knowledge by teaching or publishing something, now's the time to set those intentions. For Aquarius and Aquarius rising. For Aquarius, this is happening in your 8th house, which is the house of psychological issues. This is the house where all of your deep-seated fears and anxieties lie. And Virgo is the sign that has to do with healing, physical health, but also this could have to do with your mental health because it's in the 8th house. This is one of the best times for you to seek therapy. This is one of the best times for you to see some sort of healing practitioner to do a deeper type of healing or to begin the process, because this isn't a one-time thing for you. It's like you need to initiate a process of deeper healing, healing through trauma, healing through your emotional baggage, healing through the things that unconsciously or subconsciously control your behavior in reality, in the present moment. This is actually a great time for you if you're interested in medical astrology. I did a workshop with Elizabeth Clark on medical astrology and self-muscle testing, where we looked at the connections between the birth chart and the psychological and emotional traumas and the organs of the body and how that all connects. This would be great for you if you are somebody who needs to go through some sort of healing process, physically and psychologically. So definitely look into that. This is also a really great time for you to set intentions when it comes to your finances, when it comes to joint finances in particular. So this is a great time to get your ducks in a row or start planning to get your ducks in a row when it comes to your retirement, when it comes to getting the right insurance policies, when it comes to, looking at things like investments. This is a really great time to get your ducks in a row when it comes to creating a solid plan and budget that allows you to pay off debt. If you want to apply for a loan, you probably could get it right now, but it's going to be more work than what you think it's going to be because of that Saturnian component, and it's going to take a lot longer to pay it off than you might want it to. This is more about maybe freeing yourself from the limitations and restrictions of debt, even if you never thought that was possible, or freeing yourself from financial limitations that are preventing you from fully embracing the things that you're passionate about because of that Jupiter in the 5th house. Set intentions for that, and you'll be surprised at what comes for you in the next 6 months, especially if you're working toward it this entire time. Finally, for Pisces and for Pisces rising. For Pisces, this new moon is happening in your 7th house, which is the house of relationships. This is the time to set intentions for your relationship goals. Do you want a new partner? Do you have a partner and you want to increase your commitment to each other? Do you want to increase your love? Do you want to increase your passion? Do you want to increase your romance? What does that look like? Like, what do you want in your partnership? Your dreams can become reality. Think about your dream relationship, your dream partner, or the dream situation that you want in partnership that you already have, and you can manifest that. This is also a really great time for you to think about expanding on something in the home or with your family. This is actually an interesting time for Pisces rising women who are in their reproductive years and want to grow their family to set intentions for the right partner if you don't have that already, or to set intentions for that to actually manifest, because this is a time where it's kind of likely for that to happen. I'm seeing a lot of those common markers that I see for women who have a planned pregnancy. So definitely that's a potential for you too. It's not going to be a time for unplanned pregnancy, so don't be afraid of that. This isn't what's coming for you, but it is something to make note of. There could also be something that you want to take hold of, like an opportunity to move somewhere new, to relocate, or you might want to expand on your home and do some renovations, or purchase a new home, or purchase land, or purchase property for an investment even. This is a great time to set intentions for that contract to occur, for that meeting to take place, for you to find the place that you want to be. And absolutely you can get there, but it's going to take time, it's going to take effort, and it's going to take some work. So you need to start putting in that work and planning things now. And so that is the forecast for all 12 signs. And for the eclipse that's happening, so we have a partial lunar eclipse that's happening on September 17th at 25 degrees Pisces. And this is actually a pretty solid square that this is making with Jupiter and Gemini, but less so with Saturn. And so this is actually a time where opportunities can be unlocked for you in a way that's very fated, very karmic, very predestined. It's not going to be grandiose because it's a partial lunar eclipse and it's kind of spanning the boundaries between Pisces and Libra, because the nodes are still in Aries and Libra, and they will be until the start of next year. And so this gives us a sneak preview of what's going to be coming up for us during the eclipses in 2025. This is very important. There's going to be signs, synchronicities, messages, feelings, sensations, things that just, are fated or predestined or feel different or strange in some way. Pay attention to what comes up around the time of this eclipse, because it is so important. This is your chance to get ahead of the energy that's going to really be taking us for a ride next year, and to maybe start facilitating something where you can use it positively. Not that you won't be able to use it positively otherwise. It's not like all doom and gloom or anything like that, but this is your chance to take hold of it. This is your chance to kind of get some insight, some clues into your future. And who the heck doesn't want that? All right, so that's my forecast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, share this with your friends if you feel like they can benefit from the information that I share with you today. And I hope to see you in the Celestial Vitality Workshop. 50% off, you guys. It's already super affordable if you join before September 21st. If you are into medical astrology and you want to understand how to look at your own chart from a health perspective, or even start to use it for clients, this is for you. You don't need to have a lot of astrology background to understand this or to use this. You just need to know a little bit about the signs, planets, and houses, and chances are if you're watching this video, you do. So I hope to see you there. Link is down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.